Hi, I'm Elise, and I am a survivor of abuse, although I don't really like to make that my identity. It's not my identity, and I don't even like to say I am a survivor of abuse. I just experienced a lot of abuse, and that's a part of my story that is not a part of my identity. So I like to make that distinction there. I want to talk a little bit about abuse, but I don't want to share details about my abusers, and I don't want to disclose their identities. I will continue to do what I've always done, and that is protect the identities of my abusers. And I have my reasons for doing that. And so, I want to start by saying, like, the type of abuse that I endured, that I feel like a lot of people endure without realizing that they're enduring abuse, is like narcissistic abuse. And the really terrifying part about being involved with a narcissist and and enduring that type of abuse is, like, it's so unbelievably subtle, and it's like a scratch that over time turns into an open wound, that over time turns into a gaping wound, that over time turns into an infection, and then pretty soon you are like dying, okay? And that's kind of what it feels like. It's so subtle that only somebody who knows it would be able to detect it. And it's so subtle that I would say, to my knowledge, there was only 2 people that recognized my abuser, one of my abusers, for what they were. And one of them was a professional, like a therapist. And then the other was somebody who had endured the same kind of abuse, okay? So, of all the people that I've known, hundreds of people, only 2 people, without me saying it, were able to detect it, okay? So that's how subtle it is. And the other thing about narcissists that I think a lot of people don't really understand is how likable they are to everyone around them, okay? And not all narcissists are like that. It's just some narcissists, okay? Some narcissists are not likable by anyone, and everybody, it's a wonder to everyone how they ended up in any kind of romantic relationship, because they're so blah. But there's certain types of narcissists that are so sneaky and so tricky, and they basically love bomb everyone around them. And they're just like constantly love bombing everyone. And they love bomb their neighbors, and they love bomb their extended family members and their cousins and their aunts and their uncles, and their associates at work and anywhere, really. Okay? They're just like constantly love bombing people. And I'm not positive, and I am studying to be a psychologist, okay? And I'll be able to have these answers eventually. I'm not positive, but I do think that there is a certain degree of awareness that the narcissist has, that they know that they need to love bomb people to get them to like them, and to never be suspicious of them. And if their victims ever speak up, that they won't be believed. And so the narcissist will love bomb in order to isolate the victim, is essentially what I feel like I am seeing over the patterns that I have experienced. Okay, so essentially the narcissist will love bomb everybody around them methodically. And it's all for a reason, and it's basically for the purpose of them being able to get away with their abusive ways. They also, obviously, they like the attention, okay? They like attention, and that is kind of at the heart of the narcissist, is like being the center of attention, being God, being worshipped like God. And if they are not God, and if they are not being worshipped like God, it's like a great big hissy fit all the time, okay? So, the bone chilling part about being romantically involved with a narcissist is realizing that they, one of the really like chilling aspects of narcissists is that they actually view themselves as like a god in the flesh. And so if you can imagine what a god in the flesh would act like, live like, breathe like, think like, behave like, but like not in a good way, okay? So it's like, it's actually actually like an antichrist is what it is. It's like a devil in the flesh, but they view themselves as like a god. So they think they're God, but they're actually like literally the living flesh of the representation of the devil is what they are. And so the way that they enter any kind of space, it's absolutely insane. When you are really deeply involved with a narcissist, it really brings you into their world in a really disgusting way. And you just, what it feels like is like this big thick blanket just like covers your life, and it's blocking the sun, it's blocking the sunshine, it's blocking the sunlight, it's blocking anything, all of the higher frequency and higher vibrations blocked. And like, you are now in their world, and it's almost like living in the underworld. It's like, I just entered hell. It's insane, okay? So the way that the narcissist like enters any kind of space, it's like highly critical, highly debasing and demoralizing, and this goes on mostly inside their head, but eventually they say enough out loud that like, you know exactly what's going on in their head after you've been involved with them long enough. And so they'll say things out loud that are just very derogatory towards other human beings, and very derogatory towards things that just don't matter all around us. And it's just like this really icky, dingy, dark universe, and very, very dark and very, very depressing. Every social interaction is like a competition. It's an opportunity to win. It's an opportunity to beat whoever at anything and everything. So if whoever they're talking to, you know, is happy, well, they're happier. If somebody that they're talking to is funny, well, they're funnier. If somebody that they're talking to is depressed, well, they're more depressed. If somebody that they're talking to is really educated, well, they're more educated. And so it's like this, it's like a battlefield, but like all the time. And it's so exhausting. It's so emotionally exhausting for like a non-narcissist to be dragged around in that kind of environment, because like somebody who's not a narcissist just wants to like, man, I just wanted to come to this social event and just like talk to the people that I like and enjoy some cool company with some cool people, and then I wanted to leave. But like all of a sudden it's a battlefield, and it's always a battlefield, and it will forever be a battlefield. And if you are involved with the narcissist, you are also at war with them. It's a war that you were invited to, and it wasn't a war that you had the choice to like not show up for. Like they didn't ask, like, will you come to this battlefield for me or with me? Like, I want to take you to war. Will you accept? No. It's like they stormed your gates. They stormed your safety, your anything. They stormed you. They stormed your gates, and they brought you to war. And so now you have to choose between living and dying, basically. So now you're at war, whether you like it or not, whether you chose it or not, whether you want it or not. And you can be in denial for as long as you want, and you can lie to yourself as much as you want for as long as you want. No, I'm not going to participate. I'm not going to participate. I'm not going to. Well, honey, you are still taking significant, massive blows. Eventually, you are going to have to go to war against them. Okay? So that's the experience, is like, you have been taken to war. You didn't ask to be taken to war. You had no intention of going to war. You don't care to go to war. This war has no significance to you and your life. This is not anything that you personally care about. This is not anything that you want anything to do with. You don't identify with that. You don't identify with that space of battle, constant battle. But like, once you got involved with that narcissist, bam, you have officially accepted their declaration for war. So now you are at war, and you're at war every single day of your life, as long as you're involved with that person. So it's like, any thought that you have to be prepared to defend it, and defend it well. Any feeling that you have to be prepared to defend it and defend it well. Any argument that you have, any opportunity that you have to confront an issue with this person, as you should, be prepared to defend yourself, and defend yourself well, and just also be prepared to lose always. You will always lose every battle against the narcissist. Every battle. Every battle. If you think I'm joking, I am not. If you think that you can communicate a thought without losing, you're wrong. If you think that you can communicate a feeling without losing, you're wrong. If you think you can communicate something that you learned in your university class, that you officially know more than they do, you're wrong. So if you think that you can confront them on an issue, and that it can go well, and that you guys can like meet each other in the middle and compromise and come up with a reasonable solution, you're wrong. So be prepared to be taken to battle every moment, at every possible moment, and be prepared to lose every single time. And that is the reality of narcissistic abuse. And people who don't know anything about this, I'm not talking to them. If you're here for like educational purposes, you're probably not going to get that. Not right now. Not until I'm done with my degree, or at least far enough in my degree that I can like educate. But that's not really why I'm here. I'm not here to educate people on narcissistic abuse or on any kind of abuse, okay? I am here to let other women know that what they're going through is real. Okay, that's the other really messed up part about narcissistic abuse, is that you are convinced by your abusive partner, you are convinced that you're making it up. You are convinced that you are insane. You are convinced that you're the problem. let's put it this way. You have been convinced that you're the problem. They will use anything and everything, and they will twist anything and everything to their benefit. Okay, so if you had any kind of traumatic experience in your past, your childhood, a previous relationship, a previous marriage, anything, an illness, they're gonna twist that and use it against you. Okay, so when you are confronting them on issues and you're saying, look, this is something that I'm seeing this pattern, I'm finding it hurtful to our relationship, I feel like we need to address this for the health and benefit of our relationship, they're gonna say, no, you have childhood trauma, you have issues, you need to go to therapy. I'm not going to therapy, you need to go to therapy, it's you. And they'll do it in different ways, right? Some of the narcissists will say it just like that. Some of them will be more cutthroat. Some of them will kind of, they'll take the more victim mentality of, I'm just trying my best. Why can't you just appreciate what I've done for you? Look at all these changes that I've made. Okay, or they'll flip-flop and they'll try anything. They'll try anything under the sun to avoid taking accountability for themselves and to avoid taking accountability for what they need to do, to what they need to work on, how they need to show up better. They're not going to do that. Okay, so a narcissist will not take accountability. And when they do, it's pretend. So it'll be like, 10 years into the marriage and you are ready for the divorce. And the day after they get kicked out of the house or they decide to leave, the day after they go to therapy for the first time. And now they're saying, well, look, I'm trying, and it's all a move. It's like a chess game. Narcissists are playing chess. Okay? People that are not narcissists, we don't see the world as a game to win or a war or a battlefield to win. We're just out here chilling. So if you go up against a chess player who's been playing chess their whole lives, you have no chance against that. Okay? They are so far superior to you. Sorry. It's the truth. They're so far superior. You are unmatched. You don't know. You've never played chess before. And now you're going up against this expert chess player. And it's a game that you didn't even care. You don't want to do that. You don't want to play chess. You don't want to play chess. Why are we playing chess? Okay? But that is their world. That is their reality. And they, unfortunately, and it's so sad, they think that's everybody's reality. They think that everybody else is a chess player and that everybody else is there on their battlefield playing to win. They don't know that there are actually humans out there that are just chilling, that are not out there playing chess 24/7, that are not out there on a battlefield just fighting for their lives 24/7. Like, they don't even know that people like this exist. No matter how long you've been married to them, no matter how long you've been involved with them, no matter how much of your soul you have born to them, they will always see it as a chess move. And they will always treat it like a chess move. And so they are not going to take accountability because their minds don't work like ours. Their minds are not functioning in the same way as ours. And then there's also like the whole reactive abuse techniques of like pushing you. What's the word? Where they are intentionally poking the bear and then poking the angry bear, and they're intentionally pushing your buttons over and over and over again until you react. And when you react, and if you react in a semi-aggressive manner, right? Like you're fighting for your life and you react, then they're gonna twist that and make you feel like you're the abuser. And they'll say that. They'll say, look, you're the abusive one. You're abusive. And this is their move. This is how they move. This is one of their chess moves to get you to question yourself, question your sanity. Now you're the one in the villain seat and they're the one in the victim seat again and again and again and again and again. Always. They're always the victim, no matter what they've done, no matter how they've treated you. They're the victim. You're the villain. And so if they can get you to act out and they can get you to react in really aggressive, emotional ways, then they can point the finger at you and say, look. And look, they've always maintained like proper emotional control because they're over there playing chess. They're playing chess with a pawn. Somebody who doesn't play chess. We don't play chess. Okay, so they will push you, get you to react. Then they've got you cornered and they're getting you to agree, like believe that you are the abusive one, you are the abuser, you are abusive, and you are the problem, you are the villain, just to keep themselves out of the light, just to keep the focus on you, just so you keep focusing on yourselves, just so you keep working on yourself so that they don't have to work on themselves. If they can get you to take accountability, then they don't have to. If they can get you to take full responsibility, then they don't have to. That's their full move. Their full move is to maximize rewards and minimize costs. That's the whole move. Minimize cost, maximize rewards. That's the chess game. That's the game. It's a game. It's a battlefield and it's a game. So it's a really, really sick psychological thriller going up in here. Okay, I've thought about writing books about this because it is so psychologically insane. It's crazy. And to go into that so unassuming, just being so optimistic and lighthearted and all the things, everything that the narcissist is not, and the reason why they chose you, which was all methodical, all part of the game, is all